If you've been exploring the world of Crimson Desert, you already know Pyrewall doesn't really believe in easy fights. Some bosses like Marnie's Mecha Knight or Bloodwalker Crussis might let you brute force your way through if your gear is strong enough, but Bloodwalker Crussis? Yeah, this one is a different story entirely. It's not just about hitting harder, it's about understanding what you're actually fighting. In this Crimson Desert Bloodwalker Crussis boss guide, we're breaking down exactly how to handle this beast without wasting your time or getting wiped over and over. Because before you can even think about dealing real damage, you'll need to take it apart piece by piece. So if you've been stuck wondering why your attacks feel useless, or you just want a faster, cleaner way to beat it, you're in the right place.
A very small portion of the audience is subscribed to the channel.
If you enjoy these types of list videos,
don't forget to subscribe if you like these types of videos.
Subscribe. Enjoy watching. If you want to start the Hunting Red quest in Crimson Desert, you cannot just walk into it right away. First, you need to clear two important quest lines under the Pyloon Militia section. These are the Crossroads of Succession, which has 9 separate steps, and Dark Shadow engulfing the fort, which comes in 2 parts. Both of them sit inside the same faction quest tab, so make sure you are checking there carefully. The Crossroads of Succession is the one that takes the most time since it is a full chain of 9 objectives. It is basically setting up the story foundation for what is coming next. Once that is done, and you also finish Dark Shadow engulfing the fort, the game will automatically unlock the next phase for you. That is where the Bloodied Path questline begins, and Hunting Red becomes available as the main objective. When Hunting Red unlocks, your first task is actually pretty straightforward. You will be directed to the center of the city of Pyloon. There, you need to interact with a bounty notice. This is where the story starts to shift into the real hunt. The bounty is about a dangerous creature known as Bloodwalker Crussis, a massive bloodied beast that has been terrorizing civilians in the area. After reading the bounty, your map will update automatically. Now you are heading south of Pyloon, slightly west of the East Gate. That is where the real confrontation path begins. From this point onward, the quest fully transitions from setup into tracking and preparing for the Bloodwalker Crussis encounter, so make sure your gear and supplies are ready before you follow that marker. When you finally reach the arena and stand in front of Bloodwalker Crussis, the first thing that hits you is its sheer scale. This is not a normal enemy encounter. It feels closer to fighting something like Bloodwalker Crussis, the stone giant, where positioning and preparation matter just as much as raw damage. If you go in unprepared, you will get overwhelmed very quickly. Before even thinking about the fight itself, your skill setup needs to be solid. On the spirit side, focus 3/3, keen senses, and evasive roll are essential for survival and reaction timing. On top of that, make sure your core stats are at a good level. Stamina at level 8, health at level 4, and spirit at level 5. These are not optional upgrades if you want consistency in this fight. They are what keep you alive when things get chaotic. Your build choice also changes everything here. If you are going for a bow-focused setup, skills like evasive shot, focused shot, and marksmanship are must-haves. They let you maintain distance while still dealing consistent pressure. On the other hand, if you prefer melee combat, you want armed combat, turning slash, forward slash, and force palm. This setup is much more aggressive and requires you to stay close, so timing becomes even more important. Once all of that is set, you are finally in a position where the fight becomes manageable instead of overwhelming. The key idea here is simple. Do not rush into Bloodwalker Crussis thinking raw damage will carry you. Whether you are ranged or melee, your survival tools and movement skills are what decide how long you stay in the fight. If those are properly prepared, then you are actually ready to take it on. When you finally start the fight against Crimson Desert's Bloodwalker Crussis, the main thing you need to understand is how the stagger system works. This boss is not just about draining its health bar. The real key is filling that yellow stun meter under its red HP bar. Once that meter is full, the entire fight opens up for big damage windows. There are 2 reliable ways to build that stagger. The first is the slower but safer route, using explosive arrows to repeatedly hit the creature and gradually fill the meter. The second method is much faster and more direct. You can activate focus using the stick inputs, then trigger a focused repulsion attack with the shoulder button input. This method is extremely strong because it can immediately stagger Bloodwalker Crussis, while arrows can sometimes be blocked or reduced in effectiveness. Once the boss is stunned, that is your moment to go all in. During this phase, the yellow core becomes exposed, and hitting it deals massive damage. Both ranged and melee builds can take advantage here. If you are using a bow, aim directly at the core for consistent burst damage. If you are melee, this is your chance to stay close and maximize every opening before the boss recovers. You need to stay alert because Bloodwalker Crussis does not stay down for long. At certain points, it will disappear into the ground, and this is usually a warning sign that a dangerous combo is coming. If you are caught off guard here, it can easily turn into a one-hit situation. Positioning and timing matter just as much as damage output in this phase. The fastest way to defeat Bloodwalker Crussis is to repeat a simple cycle. First, use Focus Blast or Repulsion to break its structure and stagger it, then immediately punish the exposed golden weak point with everything you have. As it begins to recover and reform, position yourself near its reassembly point and prepare focus again. As soon as it starts pulling itself back together, trigger your focus attack again to instantly re-stagger it before it fully stabilizes, then repeat the damage phase. This loop of stagger, burst damage, and re-stagger is what turns a chaotic fight into a controlled cycle. Once you get into that rhythm, Bloodwalker Crussis becomes much more predictable and far easier to bring down. Once you finally bring down Bloodwalker Crussis in Crimson Desert, the game does not just give you a simple loot drop. The rewards are actually tied directly to how dangerous this encounter is. One of the most important drops is Bloodstained Blessing, a powerful effect that instantly revives you when you take fatal damage after absorbing it. Alongside that, you also receive an Abyss artifact and 2 pieces of Abyss gear, Composure 1 and Destruction 1, which are both strong upgrades depending on your build direction. There is also a special reward called the Power Core, known as the Crown of Shadows. This is not something you can just pick up and move on with. You must use Axiom Force to seal it properly before it becomes usable. This adds a small extra step after the fight, but it is worth it because the Power Core is one of the more unique progression items tied to this boss encounter. After you report back to the Paylunar Militia, you get an additional set of rewards for completing the quest chain. You will receive the Crossroads necklace along with 7 silver. The necklace itself gives 3 attack and 3 defense, but its special Crossroads skill is a bit unpredictable. It can either greatly restore your health or reduce it at random, so it is a high risk, high reward item that fits the chaotic nature of this whole encounter. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.